Ever wondered how to create a captivating podcast intro? Well, you're not alone. The significance of a compelling podcast intro cannot be overstated. Picture it as your podcast's front door, the first impression that may either entice listeners to stick around or turn them away. An engaging intro serves multiple purposes. Firstly, it hooks your listeners, piquing their curiosity and enticing them to stay tuned. Secondly, it sets the tone for the rest of your podcast, giving your listeners a taste of your style and what they can expect. Lastly, it provides a brief overview of your podcast, answering the essential question, what's in it for me? In essence, your intro is the golden ticket to audience engagement. It's the enticing aroma that draws people into a bakery, the gripping opening paragraph of a bestseller. So, a captivating intro is your first step to engage your audience. Now let's move on to how you can create one. What exactly makes a podcast intro good, you may ask? Well, a few things stand out. First, brevity. Your intro should be short and sweet, typically under 30 seconds. You don't want to lose listeners before the main content even begins. Next is clarity. Clearly state the name of your podcast and the name of the host. This provides crucial information and helps to establish your brand. Thirdly, uniqueness. Your intro should sound distinct and reflect the personality of your podcast. This helps listeners quickly identify your show amidst the sea of podcasts out there. Don't forget to include a brief description of your podcast. This gives potential listeners a snapshot of what they can expect, enticing them to stick around for the full episode. So there you have it. The elements of a good podcast intro: brevity, clarity, uniqueness, and a brief description of your podcast. Remember, your intro should be brief, clear, and unique to your podcast. Now, onto creating your intro. Scene script. Ready to create a captivating intro for your podcast? Let's dive into the steps for creating a powerful podcast intro that will help you stand out from the crowd. First up, writing your script. This is where your creativity comes into play. You want to make an impact within the first few seconds, so start with a hook that will grab your listeners' attention. This could be a provocative question, a bold statement, or an intriguing teaser about the episode's content. Next, introduce yourself and your podcast. Be sure to make it clear what your podcast is about and who it's for. Moving on to choosing your background music. The music you choose sets the mood and tone for your podcast. It should complement your content and reflect the personality of your show. There are many websites where you can find royalty-free music in a variety of genres. Just remember to give credit where it's due. Now let's talk about recording your intro. You want to sound confident and welcoming. So, warm up your voice, smile as you speak, and maintain a steady pace. Record in a quiet, echo-free room and use a good quality microphone. Don't worry if you make a mistake. Just pause, take a breath, and start again from where you messed up. And now, for the icing on the cake, making your intro engaging and unique. Here are some tips. Use language that resonates with your target audience. Include a catchy tagline or slogan. Incorporate sound effects or voiceover elements to enhance your narrative. And most importantly, be authentic. Your listeners can tell when you're being genuine, and it's that authenticity that will keep them coming back for more. Remember, your intro is like a handshake. It's your first impression, and you want to make it count. So, take your time, experiment, and have fun with it. And there you have it, a step-by-step guide on creating your podcast intro. But what if you want to take it a step further? Want to take your podcast intro to the next level? Let's dive into some advanced techniques to make your intro truly captivating. First up, sound effects. These can add a dynamic layer to your intro, creating an immersive experience for your listeners. But remember, less is more. Overdoing it can distract from your message. Next, consider incorporating listener testimonials. Nothing speaks louder than the voice of a satisfied listener. A quick snippet of praise can provide social proof and pique the curiosity of new listeners. Lastly, think about creating a catchy tagline. This is a brief and memorable phrase that encapsulates the essence of your podcast. It should be something that sticks in the mind of your listeners, something they associate solely with your show. With these advanced techniques, your podcast intro is sure to stand out. Remember, the key is to be unique and engaging.